The Diary of Samuel Pepys, 31st of January 1660. In the morning I fell to my lute till 9 o'clock, then to my lord's lodgings, and set out a barrel of soap to be carried to Mrs. Ann. Here I met with Nick Bartlett, one that had been a servant of my lord's at sea, and at Harper's gave him his morning draught. So to my office, where I paid £1,200 to Mr. Frost, and at noon went to Will's to give one of the excise office a pot of ale that came today to tell over a bag of his that wanted £7 in it, which he found over in another bag. Then home and dined with my wife, when in came Mr. Hawley, newly come from shipboard from his master, and brought me a letter of direction what to do in his lawsuit with Squibb about his house and office. After dinner to Westminster Hall, where all we clerks had orders to wait upon the committee at the Star Chamber that is to try Colonel Jones, and were to give an account what money we had paid him. But the committee did not sit today, hence to Will's, where I sat an hour or two with Mr. Godfrey Austin, a scrivener in King Street. Here I met and afterwards bought the answer to General Monk's letter, which is a very good one, and I keep it by me. Thence to Mrs. Jem, where I found her maid in bed in a fit of the ague, and Mrs. Jem among the people below at work, and by she came up hot and merry, as if they had given her wine, at which I was troubled, but said nothing. After a game at cards I went home and wrote by post, and coming back called in at Harper's and drank with Mr. Pulford, servant to Mr. Waterhouse, who tells me that whereas my Lord Fleetwood should have answered to the Parliament today, he wrote a letter and desired a little more time, he being a great way out of town, and how that he is quite ashamed of himself, and confesses how he had deserved this for his baseness to his brother, and that he is like to pay part of the money paid out of the Exchequer during the Committee of Safety out of his own purse again, which I am glad of. Home and to bed, leaving my wife reading in Polexandra. I could find nothing in Mr. Downing's letter, which Hawley brought me, concerning my office, but I could discern that Hawley had in mind that I would get to be clerk of the council. I suppose that he might have the greater salary, but I think it not safe yet to change this for a public employment.